Good evening, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where we have Dr. RayeQueen here for RayeQueen's Holistic Health Corner, who is our featured monthly person who's going to give us a lot of information tonight. So I want to say welcome, you guys. Welcome, everyone, because this is going to be something that's going to be very impactful, especially for people of color, Black and brown, whatever, because we know we don't do right. You know, we always come here with the truth. Always come here with the truth. We are so bound with so much stuff that if we go back to the ages of ages, we might see good interventions that can help us offset some of the stuff that we shouldn't be dying from in our community. And we know that we have so many disparities within our community, but we just got to do better. But that is why I brought the professional here, Dr. RayeQueen. Dr. RayeQueen, thank you so much. How are you and how has it been?
I am so well, Dr. Michelle Bowden Hammond. I love saying it so often as I can.
Yes, everyone, it is out the bag. It's out the bag. Dr. Michelle Hammond is official.
It's official.
It'll be official in September, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Well, it's official now, but it'll be proof. You know how people say we got to go show the proof, but it's all good. So you heard it from the master herself. You heard it here. So that's not me. Just putting something on as doctor. So you heard it from the CEO, the beginning of HPOC University.
That's right.
So it is out there.
So welcome to the fold, and I'm doing well. So glad to be here. Feels like it's been forever. It's been such a long month.
So, I know. It seemed like what was that? Was it the shift of the eclipse, you think? Because it has been a long month. But then again, we're here. We're here in the second quarter, get ready going to the third quarter pretty soon. So we're here. So audience, I want to just throw something out here to you tonight before we delve into what we're going to talk about. We're talking about the roots of wellness. Not just for overall body, but remember, I always stress the mind, the body, and the soul, all of that works together. But there are 4 questions that I'm going to put out tonight, and I'm going to actually come back to them because when you hear all this information that Dr. RayeQueen is going to give us tonight, I want you to actually take an impact to make this as a goal. If it hasn't been your goal, make some of this as your goal, or actually delve into learning more and expose yourself to certain things. That's how I'm gonna just say that. Expose yourself to certain. Now, you grown people, you may be watching and say, how's she gonna tell me what to do? It will behoove you to not try to do what you want to do. It'll actually help you. We're just trying to get the information out. Because one of the things that we stress at HPOC University is if we heal ourselves, we heal our communities. And that's what we want to do. So the questions are, where am I with my health goals? That's number 1. You got to identify it, right? Start making those SMART goals. We do it for business. We do it for work. We do it for everything, not for why not do it for our overall health? Where am I with my health goals? Second question, where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Where do you want to be? Because we know that sometimes our lives are shortened because of certain things that we're doing and not practicing on them. The practice takes perfect. It ain't going to be perfect, but we need to start to take the initiative to at least start to practice. Yeah. What is why am I not there? If that's the question, that's another question. Why am I not there? So what's stopping you? Could it be people, places, things? Or do we need to just change our regimen? And what will it take for me to feel well in my health? So those are the 4 questions that I want to delve into. I want you to actually write these down. If you can remember them, I'm going to go over it one more time. Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? And what will it take for me to get well in my health? So, Dr. RayeQueen, can you share with the audience some of the insights of this Roots and Wellness Month and the significance that it has with our community?
Yes, I'm super excited. So, long story short, HPOC and the leadership team at HPOC decided that we have so many thought leaders amongst us, healers in our community, and the people that we work with are some strong, powerful, very thoughtful people. And so we had hitched our wagon to some other health initiatives, and we decided at HPOP, because that's the way we roll, that we're going to create our own monthly initiatives, because none of the initiatives that are out there speak to Black people and brown people from a completely holistic perspective. And so to launch off of the first one, we called it the Roots of Wellness Month. And it is a monthly initiative that's going to happen every single May. And like I said, we did it because we recognize a significant gap, right, in all of the different initiatives. You hear so many different initiatives throughout the year, right? I would give you $1 million if you can name one holistic health initiative that's completely holistic and targeted towards Black and brown people. It hasn't existed until now. So this is the official first month for the Roots of Wellness Month. And it's just really a dedicated space where we can come together and just explore and tap into and connect with our heritage, because we should be very proud of our heritage and our natural health remedies and the foods that come from our community and our spiritual practices. Because one of the other things we want to do is to change the narrative around it, right? Too often we hear about how Black and brown people are suffering from this disease, this ailment. The health disparities are so large in numbers, and they blame it everything from what we do to what we eat to what we drink to how we think. They blame it on us as if that is a problem that exists, that's born of our community, when nothing could be further from the truth. If we reconnect to those healing practices that are ours, right? If we learn about them, first of all, because a lot of us don't know about them anymore, right? So first we have to learn about them and then just begin to explore them, because we have some very strong, positive, holistic health remedies that are birthed from our culture. And so Roots of Wellness Month is a time that we can really begin to tap back into that and reconnect to that, so we can knock down those lies and those myths that we hear all the time.
I love it. I love it because it's very important. I say it all the time. A lot of people ask me all the time, what is all this that you do? I say, well, what I do is actually can impact you mind, body, and soul. Because again, if one of those areas is not together, it'll actually manifest to the other areas until it manifests more to make you ill and to make you sicker. So I would say, and we're going to talk about the spiritual stuff in one of the questions later. So we know that we have Western medicine. We know we have some herbal medicines. Now, I have to put this disclaimer. We are not here, Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul is not diagnosing. We are not diagnosing. We are just giving you some information that can be useful to you in your arena of wellness. Okay. We're not doctors. We're not diagnosing anything. We are giving you some resourceful information that you can take. And again, research it on your own. And we're not saying we're anti-medicine either. Because can I say this, Dr. Karen? Because if you're sick, take your medicine.
That's it. That's it.
See, I learned from the best. I learned from the best. If you're sick, take your medicine.
Take your medicine.
We're just giving you some useful information that we know that can help us as people of color and people of brown, of the effect. So going to the next question. How does traditional natural health remedies from African and the African American culture different from the conventional Western approaches to wellness?
Okay, so Western wellness, they're kind of right. They almost have it right. Like they're doing a lot of practices that we're doing. And they almost got it completely right. But there's one major element that's missing from Western wellness that's not usually included, right? And so when we talk about from the Black and Brown community, we always include spirit, right? We always include spirit. And that's one of the big elements. I'm not talking about religion. So no matter what your religion is, it doesn't matter. Spirit is just acknowledging there's a power that's stronger than you. There's a force bigger than us, right? There's a reason for our being. Whatever name you choose to use, whatever religion you choose to practice is perfectly fine. But tapping into acknowledging that existence has always been integral to our communities. And so that's one of the biggest differences. And then I'll also say that Western wellness, they compartmentalize and they take segments, right? They are good at isolating, right? They'll find out what the active constituents are in a plant, for example, in an herb, and they'll extrapolate that one active ingredient, right? But that's not how holistic thoughts work, right? So Black and Brown communities have historically taken the whole plant. We don't take the leaves from the roots, from the berries, from the stems. All of that has nutritional value, right? And so from a African and African American perspective, we make sure we incorporate all parts of it, that we're not just isolating, right? And that's just not for plants. I mean, when we talk about herbs, we call it plant medicine because we include spirit, right? We know that it came from the earth. We know that the Most High, or whatever spiritual reference you use, gave us the ability to have the earth and the soil and grow our foods and plants and all of that, right? And so it applies to herbs, but it also applies to food, right? In the Western world, a lot of times, there's a little gnat in here, we eat, they isolate. Again, they isolate. So rather than taking, for example, eating the rind from a lemon, where a lot of the nutrients are in the rind of the lemon, right? Eating the leaves on the stem of the blueberry instead of just eating the blueberries, right? If you go to a market, you often find the blueberries or blackberries picked already for you in a little container. They've isolated, they've taken it apart from its mother, from the leaves and the stems. There are nutrients in there, right? So if you go to a truly organic juice shop or smoothie shop, all of that will be included in there because it all has powerful healing ingredients. And so one of the biggest things I will say is that we are truly holistic. We know that all parts of the fruit, all parts of the plant, all parts of everything have some nutritional value, and you shouldn't isolate. Sometimes you have to, but usually you don't have to. And so we're just much more holistic. And the last thing I will say that's really different is Western wellness continues to focus on the external reasons that you're sick, right? The external reasons. Your job is stressing you out. You're eating the bad foods. You live a sedentary lifestyle. You're not exercising. All the things that are outside of you. Whereas in Black and Brown communities, we heavily focus on the inside first because your outside is only a reflection of the inside, right? Your outside is only a reflection of your inside because you're going to attract and manifest those things on the outside of you that are inside of you anyway. And so your mind, your thoughts have to be right. Your spiritual sense has to be right. You have to be grounded. If those things are off kilter, it's going to manifest in physical disease, right? And so from a African and African American holistic perspective, we start there. Work inside out, not outside in.
See, look, audience, and she's giving us some good information there. Because I'm like this too. I always thought about that too. Because sometimes you can go different places and you do see the leaves and stuff on the blueberry. See, that's something you done impacted me with that I'm gonna try. Because I like doing blueberries and stuff, but I'm gonna actually tell them leave my leaves on wherever I find them like that. I really do, and I think that's where I'm gonna have to go to the farmers market.
Yeah.
So probably that's where I'm gonna have to go is to the farmers market. So yeah, it is a lot of nutritional values in that.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you say about the rinds and stuff, when we talk about doing baths, we talking about doing herbal baths, like we talking about using Himalayan salt with your oranges and different things like that. So we don't say squeeze the juice because again, that might burn. We would say take the juice out, but use those rinds and stuff like that for herbal baths because a lot is done for inflammation. And that is one of our things that we have in our bodies is a lot of inflammation. That's what they always had. These inflammation is a lot. That's why we have a lot of rheumatoid. We have all that type of stuff. When your body aches, is because of the inflammation and some of these principles, which is going to lead us to the next question. Okay. So I would say to the audience, you need to go back and look at this again and catch the replay to this because there's going to be something that is beneficial. I guarantee you it will be. So the next question is, and I'm going to be dabbing as I'm listening to you as well, because I know there may be some new stuff that's going on that I have missed out as a student at one point in time. So could you provide the audience with examples of nourishing foods that are commonly associated with Africans or African American heritage and their health benefits?
Baby, yes, I can. Okay. It's going to shock some people because we have a lot of misinformation out there. So some of us might be shocked. But the first thing I'm going to say is get you some collard greens, right? Collard greens have been a staple in the African and African American communities. And we have been hoodwinked into believing kale is so much better than collard greens, and it absolutely is not. Collard greens pack more powerful nutrients than kale does. So don't let them tell you got to go out there and eat like somebody else is eating. Continue to eat your collard greens because it has vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K. It is high in chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is the blood of the plant world. And when we eat it, it's transformed into blood in our bodies. And so our bodies use the chlorophyll to carry and cleanse and heal our blood, right? And as you guys have heard me say 1,000 times, Black people are hematogenic people, okay? So we have to we have to make sure we take care of our blood, baby. And that's one way to do it. So, but you can't throw all that fat back and smoke ham hocks, neck bones, whatever you put in your collard greens. You can't do all that. We gotta cut back on that. Now, I will say, if you're a meat eater and you're trying to adjust your diet, you can still use some meat to season and flavor your food. Okay. That's what our ancestors did oftentimes, right? We weren't walking around eating buckets of chicken like that. We use the chicken to flavor certain things. We use the ham, the ham hocks, what do you call them? Whatever they're called, to flavor the cabbages and the vegetables that we were eating. So if you're going to eat meat, use it to flavor your food, not as the main course of your meal. Okay. That's a side note. Sweet potatoes. We all love sweet potatoes, right? Eat you some sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are they're high in fiber, very high in fiber, all kinds of vitamins, and they're very high in the micro minerals that a lot of us are deficient in, right? See, when we talk about the Black and brown diet, it's because we largely replace our vegetables and fruits with meat and potatoes. Okay. Meat and potatoes that's a diet for a different group of people. That's not our traditional diet, right? We have to get more of those micro minerals into our bodies. And sweet potatoes is one of those foods that has a high concentration of micro minerals, including copper. Now, copper is very important because copper is one of the key ingredients found in melanin, right? Along with some other things. And melanin, which is in the blood, is the key to our health. If we make sure we nurture and nourish our melanin, I guarantee you your health will begin to improve. So it's important that you get those micro minerals, those trace minerals, and sweet potatoes are a good one for that. Oh, and the other thing I need to mention about sweet potatoes and regular potatoes is that eat the skin. I'm going back to that. I see too many people bake a whole, 12 baked potatoes and they use the skin as a bowl, eat the baked potato out and then throw the skin away. Baby, why are you throwing away all the, that's where most of the nutrients are, in the skin. You can't peel the potato and fry it up and then cut it out. You guys have got to start eating the skin. That is where the highest concentration of ingredients are. And so when we talk about this increase of people with pancreas issues, right, blood sugar issues, or when the doctors tell you you have something called diabetes, they tell you to stay away from things like potatoes. That's because you're not balancing out how you're eating the potato the way the potato is supposed to be eaten. You're taking away all of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that's going to help balance the blood sugar when those carbs hit your body. Hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Eat your skin. Pinto beans. Did you eat pinto beans when you growing up? Ooh, my mom used to make pinto beans. I hated them so much when I was a kid. I love them now, though. But pinto beans are another one you should add to your once a week. Once a week, either eat pinto bean or navy bean. Let me give you a little bit of history about these beans. They both come from a family called the common bean, right? And they're good at removing toxins from your body, right? Now they're high. They have some minerals in it. They have like some. They have some vitamins. I can't think which ones they have. Right? They have fiber in it and some other ones, but the biggest thing is that they clean out your gut, your gastrointestinal tract. So any type of toxins, any type of undigested food, it will grab that and pull it out with it. So it's really good to release toxins. Now the name navy bean got its name because the military discovered this about the common bean. And so during World War II, they started giving the members in the Navy bean because it was getting rid of some of the toxins they had gotten to their system during the war. That's where it got its name. That's where it got its rename from. That was named something before that, long before that. But in America, they called it the Navy bean for that very reason. That's how powerful the Navy bean and the pinto beans are. So if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, and if you like Ray Queen, I'm not going to change my diet. I can't give up my chicken. I can't give up my ham hocks and my pork sandwiches. Okay. I'm not going to fight. Well, I am going to fight you, but I'm also going to tell you to eat some pinto beans or navy beans once a week, just to clean out your system as best you can. Do that. Powerful. Then after you eat your pinto beans or your navy beans, you're going to eat some black-eyed peas, what you're probably already doing. I love black-eyed peas, baby. Now, black-eyed peas are packed with everything. If you could eat anything for the next month and just be healthy, it would be black-eyed peas. I would say eat a cup of bowl of black-eyed peas every day. Let me tell you about the black-eyed pea. True farmers, have black-eyed peas in their soil. Y'all can Google it if you think I'm telling stories, because black-eyed peas give off so many nutrients just from the pea itself that it helps the actual soil. So farmers will put black-eyed peas in their soil just for that reason alone. Tell me that's not powerful. Wow. And we walking around here thinking that we're not supposed to eat this way.
Only New Year's. To get the spoonful for New Year's.
That's it. Not just for New Year's, babe. You're going to eat this all the time. You're not enslaved anymore, so we can eat it as much as we want to every day. It's good for digestion. It's good for lowering your blood sugar. It's heart healthy. I mean, black-eyed pea is just it's high in zinc too, which we need for our immune systems. So anybody that has an immunodeficient order, eat some black-eyed peas regularly and watch it build up your immune system again. So, I mean, we have so many. I'm gonna stop there, but there's so many of them that we have been misled about.
I'm gonna be like, well, can we just get one more? Can we just get one more? That's a show for itself. That'll be a show for itself.
Yeah, we should do that.
Can we just get one more?
We are going to do a month with my whole earrings coming out. We're going to do a month for nutritional roots as well. So that month I'll ask to come on and talk about some more of the foods then too.
Okay.
But let me think. Which other one should I talk about? You name one of the foods you love, and I'll tell you if we should eat it or not.
So far, and what about asparagus?
Oh yeah, asparagus is great. Asparagus is great. Here's the thing about asparagus. It's high in folate. If you are trying to get pregnant or have had a hard time getting pregnant, eat some more asparagus, right? The thing about the asparagus is it's the whole vegetable, right? Very rarely do we always naturally just eat the whole vegetable. Don't just get the roots and stems. I know they sell it that way sometimes, but it's very, very good for you. High in folate and folic acid. If you are lethargic, low energy, eat some asparagus.
All
Very
right.
good for you.
As
Don't
you
cook
see,
it in all that butter though. Don't cook it in all that butter. Don't do that.
or wrap with bacon. No.
Or wrap with bacon. No. Even when I did eat meat, I never got into that trend. I don't get it.
So everyone, look, she dropped off some nuggets. Look, we have the collard greens, sweet potatoes, the pinto beans, the black eyed peas, and the asparagus. And look, it's just not black eyed peas are just not for New Year's, you know, or don't go, you walking around with it in your wallet because you want more money, but
that's it.
Put it in your mouth, then you can got some better wealth. That's where your money can save you getting them medications that you might have to down for.
That's
so
it.
Download yourself with some black eyed peas. That's what we can say right now. Download.
And if you have house plants, put a couple beans, black eyed peas in your house plants, in the soil.
See, I'm telling you, good information here. So look, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back with the rest of the questions. So we're going to take a quick break. Welcome back to Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond, and I am here with RayeQueen of the Holistic Wellness Corner here tonight. And look, she just dropped off some nuggets, so if you just gaining in, I'm telling you, you're going to have to catch the replay because she gave us some things that can help us within our health. So, as you just saw, I just put up the sound bowls, right? Because there's a lot of controversy with some folks who, I'm just going to say, don't understand. That's all I'm just going to say. They just don't understand. But it is so therapeutic for actually, again, I tell people all the time, I know what my intentions are, and I know what the gifts that the God has given me. And I think God made everything that is good. And when I know that it works for practices for the mind, the body, and the soul, it's basically the sound vibrations. And I tell people all the time, it was the walls of Jericho, those trumpets that made the sound that go down. It was the lure that David used for with Saul. Sound. It's just, you just got to know the approaches. And I know a lot of people say, well, that can open up different things. That's if you let it. I will say I'm stronger than that. So I know what I'm using it for, but that's going to lead us into the next question.
We'll talk more about that offline.
Yeah. Yeah, because that'll be another segment, to talk about. So, okay. So we're talking about, as you said, I'm going to dive us back before colonization, where music, drums, spiritual practice, because we have always been a spiritual people. Always. That's just in our DNA, spiritual people. So in what ways do spiritual practices play a role in promoting healing and well-being within our community?
You just answered that question. I mean, and it's evident everywhere. in the Bible, in the Book of the Dead, which is what the Egyptians called their spiritual text. I mean, when we light and sound are all vibration, right? It's all vibratory. All things are energy. All things are energy. They have a frequency to them, right? It's just like a radio station. Think about when you're trying to find your favorite radio station, you have to tune your dial until you tap into the right frequency. On that frequency is where you'll find whatever you're looking for, right? So if you're participating in sound healing, if you're participating in light therapy, it's because you're trying to tap into that frequency where healing resides, right? And so all spiritual practices tap into the energies that are present, right? When we pray, we're making a mudra. We talked about that in an earlier session, right? I mean, when we talk to the Most High, those are affirmations, right? We're trying to affirm something, knowing that the Most High has the power to manifest these things, right? So all of those things are connected to our entire selves, our entire beings, and to our entire holistic wellness. And so you can't separate one from the other. You just can't do it.
And it's so profound because I get a lot of slack with it, but I'm still keep on doing what I'm doing anyway. I'm just determined I'm gonna do it anyway. But
no, not you.
Yeah, right. So, but that's why I say because people aren't being educated, and that is one thing that caught my eye here at HPOC University. There are so many principles and holistically way that has been impacted through me. So I would say share. That's why I try to share this as much. Just have an open mind. Things that we have been taught that basically might be wrong, really might not be wrong. You got to do the evidence. You got to go get some evidence yourself. I would tell you to be your own detective in certain things because, again, we have a lot of stuff that's split because other people disagree. But I just say be open and you never know because, again, we are 80% almost water. And I told this at a workshop last month, and it was a pastor in there. He was like, I never thought of it about that way, but I thank you for sharing that with me. If the moon affects water, why wouldn't you think it wouldn't affect us more than 80% of water?
That's it.
That's it. That's a question. If the moon moves the water, why wouldn't you think it wouldn't move us?
Why wouldn't it?
Why
Come on now.
We're 80% of water. And that's because of that radiance energy from the moon in the water. And that is the same thing that happens in sound healing. Now, I'm just giving you facts. And when you talk about frequencies, everything is run by a frequency. Your phone, your cell phones run by frequency. Because if we didn't have frequency, we wouldn't have the radio, we wouldn't have the TV or any of that. So everything
podcast going on.
Yeah. So everything is running through frequency. And I have to tell that another time, or maybe they have to come to the conference and maybe I can talk about that. But there are 9 elements of frequencies that can promote different things with healing as well. So I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff out here that you have to get yourself involved. I'm not telling you what to do, but stop listening to folk who don't know no better.
Study and show thyself approved.
See, and she brought out word. And thank you, sis. Thank you. We still have God. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Because that's another thing. They all say that's witchcraft or whatever else.
Yeah.
No, they'll say that in a minute. I always tell it, think about if you think about Salem, think about how many innocent women got burnt up because that's what they said. I'm just saying. Moving to the next. So our final question for tonight, and it says, what are your hopes for the future of the Roots of Wellness Month and the impact that it will have to the Black community or the people of color, brown people, whomever it will? What is the impact that you want this to have?
Well, what you just said, we really need to take time this month to research everything, right? There's a lot of our history, specifically Black history, that has been erased and hidden from us by design, right? By design. For the Africans that were over here in America and that had to endure slavery, they purposely tried to disconnect you from your roots. And so they had to tell you certain things to keep you from practicing the things they knew would make you the strongest, right? They had to tell you things to keep you away from those things they knew would give you knowledge of self, right? Because if you have that information, you're dangerous with that information, because now you can heal yourself, you can heal your community, right? You can go back and re-educate those of us who are miseducated, because I was one of those people that was miseducated. I grew up the same way most Black people grew up in America. You know, I grew up in my mom's house and had to fight with my mother, still fight with my mother sometimes about some of the things that I'm doing, because she doesn't understand completely that these are our practices. And she has been miseducated. I'm gonna leave it there. She has been miseducated by some spiritual institutions, right? But if you really break it down, we have people like Michelle, we have people like myself, we have people like other members of HPOC who are passionate about making sure our community understands the truth of our history, right? The truth about our healing practices, the truth about who we are. Then it will make all the difference in the world, because healing is our birthright. And as long as we're holding on to information that was falsely given to us by other groups, other members and other groups, then we're going to continue to suffer from health disparities unnecessarily. And so this month, I really want us to focus on finding people like you and I, tapping into books and resources and other educational material that might offer you a new viewpoint, a new way to look at things, so that you can begin to peel back those layers and really, really address what's holding you back, what's keeping you from being completely well, completely full, completely whole. You know what I mean? And so this month, HPOC is going to heavily push out information, heavily push out information that might challenge some of your beliefs, might challenge some of the information you've been taught. But that's the hallmark of education, right? Is that you want to be pushed outside of your comfort zone, because that's where some more of your truth lies, right? You can't stay in your little bubble forever. Growth happens when you bust from your cocoon, and then bust from that cocoon, and then bust from that cocoon. And so that's what we're going to do this month. We want to really focus on our roots of wellness, and really how we're going to maintain this wellness by tapping into those roots.
Listen, I will say to everyone here tonight, or those who are viewing it, or those who will catch the replay, you can go actually to what's the number here across the screen, www.hpoc-university.com, and there's a phone number right there for you. Or you can visit, you can inbox me if you have any questions. Again, there also is running the Upfront Mind Body and Soul email that you can put up if you have any questions or you're not sure about some things, and I will make sure to give you the great resourceful tool. I actually do, because we talk about herb knowledge. So I have this here, which you might not can't see. Herb knowledge here that, if anybody inboxes me tonight, I will actually give you a copy of this herb knowledge, which she was talking about different things. We always want to season our foods, but they're also this thing is powerful for me. The herb knowledge, because there's a herbal first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a culinary herb, there's a spice cheat, a cheat sheet. Allspice, celery seeds, cinnamon, cloves, curry powder, marjoram, ginger, dill, paprika, parsley, rosemary, saffron, thyme, tarragon, savory, sage. That's another one, sage. You use it in your food. Stop being foolish. I'm just saying. You use it in your food. And actually, it helps with clearing out your airways as well. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It's good for respiratory health. It's good for
respiratory health. It helps. Yeah. So, it's how your intentions you want it to be. That you eat it in your food. You still eating that sausage that got sage, because that's what they used back in there. I'm just saying it. I'm just leaving it. I'm gonna leave it alone. So even with your body, herbal body mat, there's also an herbal body mat. Did you know that dill detoxifies your liver, pancreas, dragon's blood if you use that, anti-inflammatory, ginger, again, is anti digestion, corner seed, dragon bloods again for that. Again, she just told us we are blood-borne people. Why you think they want our blood? I'm just saying. Why you think they want our blood? I'm just saying, I got something here that can help you. Did you know that some of these wildflowers you see on the side of the road? I had just posted something. It's funny, Dr. Karen, because I just posted something out there. I can remember my lady, my cousin, that had us go pick those dandelions up. We thought it was crazy, but we would run with our little buckets and she would make some stuff. Now here it is later. I'm old as Methuselah now, knowing that I could have been using that as tea instead of she would have me getting it to make the wine. But I'm just saying, it's different things. Dandelion, daylilies, violets. Now I did have about violets and lemonade at one time. It makes a little, so I have that if anybody wants to inbox me for that. But again, remember these questions that I asked you tonight.
Yeah.
Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? And what will it take for me to feel well in my role with health? So, audience, tonight you have gained a lot of information, and we hope that you continue on tuning in, because Dr. Karen will be back. She will be back. And we would like to say you are welcome if you would love to come to the conference, which is September the 20th through the 22nd in Oklahoma, the HPOC University's conference that we have every year. And this will be my first time going, and I'm excited about it. Very excited to see what's going to kick off.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a good time and good information. You're going to leave full. You're going to leave full.
That's what I'm talking about. Leaving full of something to keep you full and engaged, especially with our health. So, audience, again, this has been our pleasure of being on. And again, Dr. Karen, thank you so much for coming tonight and sharing all of your wealth of knowledge. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here now thinking about, what can I do now next? Because it's very important that we listen. That's it. Just open a listening ear. That's all we got to do. Just take a breathe and listen. It doesn't, you got some information here. Very good, useful information. So I will tell you guys, keep watching, follow HPOC, follow me. I always have something to say every day, just about. So that keeps me going. But, again, if you don't know that you love, just know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Until next week, take care. And again, ask yourself those 5 questions. Good night.